I work at Home Goods, and no, it's not a market. It's actually for where you buy anything for your home, between bedding, bath, furniture, garden, whatever. But 2 weeks ago, I was working the cash register, and 2 girls came up to me, and they wanted to buy 2 $100 gift cards, and they were also buying bedding. And so I didn't think anything of it. It was Mother's Day, around Mother's Day, so just thought it was just gift cards for the mothers. So I rung up their stuff, and they decided, and one of the girls swiped her card, and I was asking for a PIN number, so I asked her to put her PIN number in, and she's like, oh, no, I would like to do credit. So I was like, oh, okay, let me just see your card and ID. She gives me her card and her ID. The first thing I notice is that the Visa card is a gift card, and gift cards don't ask for PIN numbers. And the second thing I noticed was that the MasterCard, the Visa, it was a Visa card, and my computer was saying that it was a MasterCard. So what I'm supposed to do is to just ask them to use a form of payment, and that I can't use that card. So she started to argue with me, so I brought up my manager. My manager wanted to, or just said it, asked if they had another credit card, and her friend goes, oh yeah, sure, I have one we can use. So she slides one, and it's declined. She slides like 3 more, and they're all declined. So they pretend like they're going to go transfer money into their credit or into their account, and they'll come back. My manager then after told me that loss prevention was looking at them, and were already keeping their eyes on them because they looked fishy, I guess. And she was saying she wanted one of those credit cards to go through because the only way that loss prevention could arrest them is that they actually committed credit card fraud. But because they did not actually leave with stolen goods, that they were just being able to walk away. This happens all the time at Home Goods, and apparently it's happening everywhere else. And you don't even have to be the victim of credit card fraud. Goods and services go up yearly just to cover the cost of all the lost goods. All the lost credit card fraud money. Today I'd like to explain to you how important it is to stop credit card fraud, even if criminals doesn't actually get away with the illegal act. I'll be talking to you about how much credit card fraud there is in the United States, how we need to change the punishment of criminals who were even caught trying to commit credit card fraud, and the benefits of changing the punishment. So first of all, credit card fraud in the U.S. Credit card fraud is one of the fastest growing crimes in the United States. Nearly 10 million, Diane Swain, a newspaper journalist, said that nearly 10 million consumers are affected yearly by the loss of stolen credit cards. She also said that it costs America $35 billion yearly of lost money. And the 2 top main ways that they're getting your credit card account numbers is through online, like banking, or just ordering stuff through the internet, or also through phones, if you're going to have that thing you saw on TV, or making your credit card payment. So because there is so much credit card fraud in the United States, I think that we need to change the credit card punishment to even punishing those who try to commit credit card fraud. If caught for the first time, FTC.gov said that those who do actually commit credit card fraud for the first time get a fine and community service. And then if they are caught with a history of fraud, they get a fine and jail time. Now, I believe that we should also do that for those who are trying to commit credit card fraud, because they know what they're doing. So might as well, punish them for what they have done. So if we do change the punishment, there will be benefits if we change the policy. First of all, the biggest one is that less money will be lost yearly. I know there's a lot more reasons why the United States loses money, but this is just the start of putting a stop to, or putting a dent in that big amount of money. Criminals would also be more aware of their consequences, and they would probably even stop more acts of fraud, because because if, they already know that the first time that they're going to get a fine, then they know the next time is going to be a bigger consequence and a bigger consequence. So today I have shared with you the money lost each year, and because of credit card fraud, the need for a more strict punishment of fraud criminals and how it will benefit us in the long run. So we need to push for a better punishment so that we can start stopping credit card fraud criminals in their tracks to better heal us. Thank you.
Caitlin, what did you think?
I really like your topic. I think it's really relatable, especially people in here work in retail, because I do, and we have that problem a lot too. Your intro was good, but it was long. I almost feel like your intro was the same amount as the rest of your speech and your 3 points. It would have been nice to have a little bit more information to your 3 points. I really liked your benefits though, like less lost yearly. That was really good. I didn't know the thesis of your speech until like halfway through or even the end of it, and I wish I could have known it right off, because at first I was thinking that you were going to be talking about stealing in general, but it was directly aimed at card fraud. You only had like a few points of reading down from your notes. You really kind of stuck to the audience. Besides that, I think it was good.
All right, I like the personal incident to start with as an attention device, but I do know what she's talking about when, it's long, but it wouldn't have seemed that long, and it would have seemed more appropriate if the rest of the speech had been a little more involved. As it was, it was maybe 25 to 30% of your speech is the attention device that you've got. And if the speech had gone another 2 or 3 minutes, then I don't think it would be quite as noticeable that the intro was so involved. You set up the topic pretty clearly, and organizationally, I think you start off well. And you had some good information on that first point, talking about the increasing numbers of credit card fraud. I think there's probably a lot more information that you could develop on this issue, and definitely ways to be concerned about this. Your solution about the increasing punishments seems to assume that people who commit these kinds of crimes don't feel like they're going to be you don't feel they're going to be deterred by the current punishments, that the current punishments are inadequate, for instance. And what I don't get is any number about how many people are being convicted of this, what the recidivism rate is on any of those kinds of things. That's something that would make this a little bit stronger. And I think it would, if you wanted to add a personal element to it, there might be something that individuals could do to protect themselves from being victims of credit card fraud, whether it is the places that they use their credit cards, or using a particular kind of card, or protecting PIN numbers or something like that. Maybe there's something extra that we could do. So it's not just this argument for increased penalties, but also other things that people could do, especially an audience and an individual basis could do to maybe prevent this or protect themselves in some way, shape, or form. I think that would add a little bit more to the speech, give you maybe a little bit more substance there. Your presentation, I think you project pretty well. Sometimes there's a little bit of an awkward pause or transition there. It wasn't a big problem. I thought your eye contact was really solid. You did have to look down occasionally for information, but it was only for information. There are a couple of distracting things that you have a tendency to do, though, while you're standing there. One is, when you look down for that information, when you're done, you smooth the edge on the paper and pull it again a little bit. That's a little weird. And you have all of your nervousness comes out in your feet and your legs. You constantly are crossing your legs, and you look just uncertain. When you just stand and you're looking at us and talking to us, you're doing great. But then you get into, I'm going to look down, I'm going to look at my notes, you cross your legs, you finish your notes, you pull the edge on that piece of paper again, and you fidget a little bit more. And those are just affectations that you need to work on and try and prevent that from happening again. I know I sound like I'm yelling and moaning about those kinds of things, but the reason I do it is because if I don't mention it, people don't notice it as much. And that's one of the reasons that you want to watch your videos, because once you notice something and become aware of it, you're much more likely to